A visitor walks into a high school in Mississippi, and they're looking around on the premises. They notice a pregnant student. When asked if this is a common occurrence, the answer is shocking to them. They are told that every year there is one or more teenage pregnant teens in this one particular school. Mississippi is ranked third in teen pregnancy and high on sexually transmitted diseases. We need to support our children being taught proper sex education and safety when having sex to help prevent pregnancy and infectious diseases. I feel this needs to be done in all schools across the state of Mississippi, and it needs to be taught as early as deemed appropriate. In the process of doing my research, I came across a lot of surprising statistics that are extremely reliable and found in multiple places. I found that other states are, for lack of better words, more forward in sex education, while Mississippi takes a more conservative approach. I did this research because of the number of pregnancies I was aware of in our high school, but in the process, I learned that we have a problem with STD rates that needs to be addressed also. As you listen to this presentation, I hope you will see the importance of sex education and why it needs to be taught to our kids. If they are taught sex education and proper ways of safe sex along with abstinence, maybe this will help them to be better prepared for the situations that will arise in their lifetime and how to be safe if they choose to have sex. According to the Mississippi First website, Mississippi is third on teen pregnancy in the nation with a rate of 34.8 births per 1,000 teen girls between the ages of 15 to 19. In 2011, there were 7,390 teen pregnancies, and in 2010, the cost of teen childbearing was approximately $137 million. Many things could be the cause of this ranking, but most researchers point at the abstinence-only sex education that Mississippi is required to teach. With abstinence-only education, there is no way to prepare the students for the social situations that will arise. There are also abstinent plus programs that the schools can use, but this is not much better. This allows the school to teach mostly abstinence, but does allow a little bit of safety talk. But it does not allow them to talk about how to put on a condom or where the female students could get affordable birth control. According to Mississippi website, Mississippi ranks third in the nation with gonorrhea cases and fifth in the nation for chlamydia infections. This slide here has a chart from the Mississippi Department of Health website. The black line is the national average of the chlamydia infection rate. The blue line is the infection rate of Mississippi. As you can see, we are approximately 200 more than the national average of chlamydia rate per year. This is the graph for gonorrhea. Once again, the black line is the national average. The blue line is Mississippi. We are still about 100, 150 higher than the national average. HIV did not have a national average, but the HIV rates were between 15 and 20. And for syphilis, this is the only one where currently we were not above the national average, but we were right at the national average in 2014. But you see it goes up and it drops back down. So, and that's the last data we have is from 2014, so it could have changed since then. As I stated earlier, my main objective in doing this speech was teen pregnancy. But as I researched, I became aware of another statistic that was very alarming to me as well. Not only do we need to educate our children to help them from becoming pregnant, but we also need to educate them because of their health. According to the Mississippi Department of Health website, Mississippi is well above the national average for all STD rates except for syphilis, as I just showed. If they are educated in high school, maybe they would carry what they learn into adulthood, and this would in turn reduce the STD rates overall. As it is now, they are gaining habits in their teen years that are carrying over into adulthood and are detrimental to their health. As evidenced by the statistics, abstinence only does not work. After speaking with a school nurse in one of our area schools, I learned that they are not allowed to teach anything other than abstinence only. This is obviously not working. According to a 2015 survey, 48% of high school students have admitted to having sex at some point. 33.8% of high schoolers admit to currently being sexually active. Of those sexually active, 85.2% use a contraceptive method with their last sexual encounter, 55.8% said they used condoms, and 18.3% said they used birth control pills. We need to educate our children better and correctly. As you can see, almost half the students polled admit to having sex. As for me personally, I would like to see sex education implemented in our schools, all schools. I would also like to see this as a mandatory seminar or a program that the school nurse would be in charge of. Of course, I know there would be parents that would be against this and would want their child to opt out of the program. For those parents against this, there would be pamphlets that we could send home for them to be able to discuss with their child. I think that sex education should cover all facets of sex, heterosexual and homosexual. STDs can touch every aspect of people's lives, whether in a traditional relationship or a non-traditional relationship. There are several things that need to be taught in these programs. How to put on condoms correctly, different types of contraceptives for females, and the risk of STDs for unprotected sex. Both genders need to be made aware of the fact that just because a female is on the pill, that is not 100% effective. If the female that's on the pill is on an antibiotic as well, then this will decrease the effectiveness of the birth control and could lead to pregnancy. In my research, I found that it's appropriate to start teaching about sex or the private areas at around 8 years of age. Wouldn't it be wonderful if that wasn't even an option to begin teaching our children at that age? But let's face it, we all know of some children giving birth as early as 12 years old. It's a sad reality. In conclusion, I would like to point out that Mississippi does not have any current laws or legislation going through the House, Senate, or through the House or the Senate to help with this. This education is state mandated, yet they will not help to further it. We need to contact our representatives and make our voices heard for our children. We as parents need to make sure that we tell our children the truth at home and don't sugarcoat it or use scare tactics. As we can see with a few of these statistics, this isn't working. In a perfect world, we wouldn't have to rely on others to teach our children about sex, but we can also see that we as parents need help educating our children. Is abstinence the best policy? By all means, yes. But is it the only policy? No. Let's get the information out to all teens so we can have healthy teens and so we can cut back on, if not eliminate, teen pregnancy. Thank you.